I got a beard.
I like your beard.
I'm so glad you approve.
Yeah, right. Grizzly Adams had a beard.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Got me a beard.
He was a man. He had a beard.
Got me a beard. Yes, I got
St. Damian's beard.
got me a beard. Got me a beard. Got me a beard. 'Cause if your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two mums, two beardless moms.
Hello again, and welcome to episode 4 of the Beardcast. This week we're going to be talking about, once again, what we did in class and what we were able to achieve with some of the projects that we did last week. Monday and Tuesday were really spent kind of along the same lines of what we did in the previous week, where we talked about the career services, kind of getting into the internship side of things. We did have to finalize a cover letter and resume. Once again, as I talked about in previous episodes, we did have to tailor it specifically for the internships, and that certainly is something that I had to work on. For those of you who don't know, I do have most of my working experiences in banking, which obviously doesn't really lend all terribly too well to this type of internship, but I was able to tweak it and use my experiences and kind of twist them. I guess twisting them is the right word, but molding them to make sense more for an internship than anything else. We turned that in Tuesday, as a matter of fact, and then Thursday was when we were supposed to kind of get them back graded. Matt didn't really get a chance to do that. Wednesday he was at work, of course, on one of the stations, and he didn't really get a chance to do it, which actually worked out fine. We kind of worked on a project, or we started to work on a project on Thursday where we were going to record some, it was actually all improv, because that's kind of what we started doing towards the end of the week, was more improv stuff. So we wanted us to improv in a group. We were going to improv a little minute-long, what could we do to improve Illinois Center for Broadcasting, whether it be the facilities or the curriculum, whatever it might be. We didn't actually get a chance to do it because there were no open studios. We do go to class, or do have class at the same time as a couple other classes who've actually started before us, as far as, they started months before. So unfortunately, they kind of had a little bit of a head start on a project they were working on, so they had all the audio studios used up. So we didn't get a chance to do that. So what he did instead on Thursday was he did quickly, while we were all on break, he went over our cover letters and resumes that we had submitted and gave us his feedback. And honestly, for mine, there was a couple sentences. He just wanted me to combine them, and I think just maybe change a word or two. And then on that was on the cover letter, and then the resume, he actually advised me to not put references, because this is for the internship resume as opposed to the final job resume. He told me the references really aren't needed in this scenario. So I was able to change that, and he obviously he said they were fine and good to go. He did submit those to Kim, who's the educational director, who does have to give the final say once they've been graded by Matt, and say, okay, those are good to go out. Once we do get the feedback from Kim, we're going to be able to actually send those out. And we did get some more information about where we can intern at. We got some information about different places to look for. Some of the places, just to give you guys a heads up, the places that I'm going to be looking at, there's not a lot of radio stations actually that I'm going to look at, simply because, for one, I want to keep things local, because for my availability, obviously it's tough to do an internship when you really only have Friday nights and then Saturday and Sunday to do things. But other than the few radio stations that are out here, radio stations like The River, which is in Aurora. There's another radio station in Aurora. It's actually an AM station. I'm not 100% familiar with the format. I think it's almost like a home shopping network, but on the radio. Not sure how that works. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. It's like 1280 AM, 1280 WBIG. but didn't get a chance to take a look at it yet, but I will. So I'm going to apply to that because, again, it's in Aurora. There are actually a couple radio stations. They're Next Media stations. They're 4 radio stations that are all in the same building. They're kind of, brother, sister stations, whatever you want to call them, that they're all, like, again, they're the same company. It's a Next Media company, and that's actually in Crest Hill, which is really just down the street for me. It's actually on Caton Farm, which we're right off Caton Farm. So for me, that's going to be a perfect place. So I'm definitely going to apply there because it is close. But what I'm really focusing on is actually TV stations, which sounds kind of funny, but the local public access or cable access TV shows that are broadcast kind of for each city. From what we've really been told, those are kind of the best places to look because as opposed to a radio station where it's, they're not going to put you on air, they're not going to really have you do anything, and the bigger the radio station you get to, it's going to be, oh, go get me coffee, go get me breakfast, file these papers and stuff like that, which, obviously somebody's got to do it, and if that's what they want us to do, I mean, certainly, you got to do it, but at the same time, you're not really getting any experience. So is it really a benefit to be there, even though it's this big name station? Is it really a benefit to be there and not do anything? So, but with the like local community TV stations or channels, from what we've been told, they're a lot better with the interns because you do get a little more hands-on experience. You're able to really do things a little bit more than what you can with the radio stations. And obviously, I mean, I'm going to do all the local stations. So, Plainfield, Shorewood, Crest Hill, Naperville, Aurora, Bolingbrook, I mean, you name it, just pretty much all the suburbs out here I'm going to apply at and see what happens and what I can get. One of the more exciting places I'm going to intern at, or I'm going to apply for an internship at, is actually in Aurora. It's the Comedy Shrine. It's a comedy club, and what I think is going to be really cool, because more than likely, just kind of looking over the paperwork, it's going to be things like making sure the mic levels are okay, making sure the speakers are working okay, and just little stuff like that. I mean, that's really what they're going to need as far as an intern goes. And for me, that would be phenomenal, because it more than likely, with my hours, it's going to fit really well because it's a comedy club, and more than likely they're going to be busiest on the weekends, so that's going to be when they need somebody. So that's something I'm definitely going to take a look at. And so, like I said, once I get that back, I'm going to just start applying and kind of go from there. Touching on some of the other things that we did, I did mention that we did some of the improv stuff on Thursday. That was really the only kind of class work that we did. I mean, again, Monday, Tuesday was really just 100% devoted to the applications the resumes and the cover letters and stuff like that. So we really didn't do anything project-wise. And even Thursday, when we did a little bit more, it was the improv stuff. So it wasn't like we went into the studio and really recorded anything. Again, we couldn't. Things were filled up. We did some presentations in class where, he would call us each individually up to the front of the class to say, okay, Dan, here's your topic, go. And we had to just kind of, with no real time, we had to talk for about 30 seconds to a minute about whatever it was he brought up, which was kind of fun. I'm not always the best person with the ad-libbing stuff, but had fun with it. It was kind of fun, and he was happy with how, and this wasn't just me, this was the whole class, about how we were all pretty comfortable going up and talking, even if we really didn't know what we were going to talk about, and we were nervous about what the subject was going to be. It worked out pretty well. And honestly, that's really it for the week. I mean, it was, as much as it's funny to say it, we didn't do many projects or anything like that. I mean, it was really focused on the cover letter and stuff. So I don't really have anything I can play for you guys or, leave you guys with the sound clips and stuff like that. I do have, as you heard at the beginning of the show, I do have kind of a new little opening that I'm going to play before every show. That's the Beardcast intro. And then there's, of course, a song that's going to play at the end. The song is actually courtesy of the band called The Beard. Or The Beards, sorry, they're The Beards. And the two songs I played were If Your Dad Doesn't Have a Beard, You Have Two Mums, self-explanatory, and the other one is I Got a Beard, which is actually the one that we use as kind of the theme song for the show. But once again, as we end this week's episode, want to just go ahead and ask again, any feedback, please go ahead and let me know. That way I can improve on different things and make sure that this is the best that it can be. And any other questions that you might have or suggestions or anything you want to hear from me, or don't want to hear from me, if there's something you don't want to hear, just let me know. Leave me a message again on the comment section here on YouTube. You can send me a message directly on Facebook. I'm sure for those of you who have my cell phone number, you can also text me. And until then, I'm just going to say thank you so much once again for listening and being being as supportive as you guys all are. So, until next time, thanks for listening and have a great week.
I got a beard. I'm so glad you approve.